So about a year ago, Erin O'Toole put out a tweet that said, "Foreign aid can wait. Right now, the Trudeau government should prioritize Canadians." Now, this was in the context, obviously, of the beginning of the pandemic. We didn't really know anything about COVID, and there was a lot of discussion over Canada sending PPE to different countries, or should Canada support financially maybe some countries that are having difficulty with tackling COVID or stopping the spread of the virus. And again, this is all about a year ago, so hindsight is going to be 2020 on this one. And so now we have a bit of a different opinion, and Erin O'Toole has stated that a Conservative government, if elected, would not cut foreign aid. So that's simply off the table. Nothing is going to be cut. We can't let bad actors be the ones handling the rollout of the response to the pandemic. This is quite in sharp contrast to Andrew Scheer, again, the previous Conservative leader who proposed about a 25% foreign aid cut and said that we should instead be redirecting those funds to kids in conflict zones. It's also in very sharp contrast to Maxime Bernier, who said that we should basically stop all foreign aid. And so there's a lot of different opinions here between Scheer previously and Bernier, and now between O'Toole and Bernier. So a lot of different things. Now, there's a couple of questions on this. First of all, is this a smart move politically? Well, that's really up to you guys. What do you guys think? Is this a smart move for O'Toole to be taking up? Is that something that would cause you to support him or to possibly not support him? Again, what are your thoughts on Bernier in this issue? So that's really something for you guys to decide and to let me know in the comments. Very curious to see what you guys think. But the overall question is the idea of foreign aid, and what are some examples of foreign aid that might be good or bad, and a couple of different ways to think about it, because I think it's a little bit more complex than simply writing checks to other countries. Now, there have been a lot of really crazy examples of people giving foreign aid for just different projects, different things. But one of the places I would recommend you check out is Candace Malcolm's documentary Green Hypocrisy. There's a whole series there, and it's produced by True North and Candace, who is great. Really recommend you check that out because it talks a lot in certain segments about Canada supporting or giving funds for other countries to support them in their battle against climate change. So that's one of the streams of foreign aid. But I want to tie in something else that is maybe not the traditional foreign aid, that may be thought of something as maybe the good kind of foreign aid, again, if you even support this idea of foreign aid. And that is something called Operation Impact. Now, I spoke about this on a previous video, and Operation Impact is basically a Canadian Forces operation where we are supporting the militaries of countries like Lebanon, Jordan, Iraq, and Kuwait, and really helping them build capabilities to enhance security in those countries, maybe to combat extremism or things like ISIS in Iraq. And that ties hand in hand with the NATO mission in Iraq, which Canada is supporting and is going to be winding down eventually, handing over really a lot of that role from Canada to Denmark. So that's foreign aid. But I think a lot of people really get confused. When they think about foreign aid, they tend to think of it as just writing checks to other countries or sending money abroad. But there's other types of things which could be considered foreign aid, and I want to bring this to your attention and see what you guys think. So this military aid, now this is going to cost Canada money, so it's going to cost us money. It's going to potentially put Canadian Forces personnel at risk, especially in a country like Iraq, which might be considered in some parts a war zone, an active war zone, or even a semi-active war zone. So that is sort of the cost to us. But on a certain level, the idea with this type of mission is to help the Iraqi military to combat ISIS or extremists. Now, it's possible that some of these extremists might want to commit a terror attack in Canada. And so really the question is that something that is of benefit to Canada, right? We're supporting a mission in Iraq where they're going to be better equipped and better able to tackle ISIS, and that will theoretically stop a terror attack here. So is that maybe an example of foreign aid? Do you think that fits into foreign aid? And if you do, is that a type of foreign aid that you agree with? Other types of foreign aid that not maybe directly cash related would be maybe the Justice Department sending some retired justices or judges or someone to assist with the Justice Department or justice system in another country. Maybe that is something that, again, it doesn't really result in us sending over a check, costs money. Maybe that's beneficial. Maybe it's Canada trying to get some kind of votes at the UN. We tried for a UN Security Council seat. It was not clear why we really needed that seat or what the focus was or what it was even going to cost Canadians at the time. But, maybe that's something that you would support. Maybe you think it's a good idea for Canada to be involved in a sort of, I will support you on this, you will support me on that kind of thing. Is that maybe something you would support? Does that color your idea of foreign aid? Now, these are all sort of different questions, and I think it's important to think about foreign aid in a lot of different levels because obviously we have a number of ways we can think about it. The last one that I want to bring up before we wrap it up here is the sort of idea that politicians are looking at this in a very different way than we are, because they're timeline is really shorter than ours, right? They really are looking at the next couple of years, maybe 2, 4, 8 years, right? So Trudeau wanted to get that UN Security Council seat. That's a fairly short-term goal. That's not necessarily going to affect what Canada is doing, 10, 20, 30 years from now. But maybe if we give foreign aid to a country and we build up a trade relationship, maybe it will pay large dividends 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. But is that something that politicians are looking at? Is it something that we should be looking at? Is it something that we should be forcing our politicians to look at? A lot of really deep stuff, and I think there's a lot of really interesting stuff to discuss here. So let me know in the comments, what do you think about foreign aid in general? What do you think about maybe different types of foreign aid? Do you think that there should be a political calculus on foreign aid? A lot of really big questions, and really curious to see what you guys think. I know the audience here is very engaged. I always really enjoy reading your comments, so definitely let me know what you think. So again, for True North, I'm Sam Eskenasi. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know in the comments, and I'm excited to read them. Take care.